So let me ask you this. How would you feel if the first and last message you received every single day was one that reminded you how messy and how irresponsible you were? Hey thinkers, what's up? Thanks for joining me again this week. Did you know that 6 out of 10 adults in the United States is believed to have a chronic illness? And 4 out of 10 are actually said to have 2 or more chronic illnesses that they have to deal with on a regular basis. That's 60% of the population. So these house care tips that I'm going to give you are relevant to everyone. If you want to make your life simpler in spite of having to deal with chronic fatigue, or if you just hate cleaning and want to develop stupidly simple habits that will keep your house almost cleaning itself, or if you just want to help build a community that will be here with you along the way, stay tuned until the end. Last week we introduced 3 different mentalities that can rule our minds in reference to keeping a neat home. If you haven't watched that video, it would be wise to check that out first because this lesson builds upon the last one. Or after this video is over, check out the description box below and there will be a link to that video. But in case you're fatigued and don't want to do either of those two, I will recap those lessons now. Mentality number 1, denial. Denial is just ignoring the true state of things around you. Mentality number 2, disaster cleaning. This is where we blow through the house and use up a lot of energy cleaning and eliminating the clutter and mess that we left in stage number 1, which was denial. Mentality number 3 is development. This is where we learn to develop habits that are sustainable. And this is where we're going to camp out. Nope, I'm still not a camping girl. This week we will begin our quest to having a neat home by first giving the one commandment that I use to govern how I manage my home. It is literally the one ring to rule them all. And yes, Lady Galadriel is my spirit animal because this is how I look when my kids are hiding something, and this is how I look when my kids disobey, and this is what I become when I feel someone is picking on my kids. But back to the one rule that rules them all. Always have your home 30 minutes from being company ready. Because even if your mom shows up unannounced and doesn't give you the 30-minute warning, your house won't be a total wreck. You know you don't want your mom to think she raised a lazy monkey. How on earth is that even possible? Especially for a person who's already busy and struggles with fatigue. Now right here, I want you to stop, take a deep breath, and let me walk you through my process. Most people will tell you to do the simplest tasks first. And although I do believe you should start simply, I want you to gain the biggest impact for your effort. You should start simply and do those small tasks. But the key with me is you do them in the high traffic areas or the hotspots. So you will actually experience on a regular basis the changes and the momentum that you're building. Don't start in the guest room or in the back closet. That might be the easiest and least trafficked area. And it may need work. But right now you're low on energy. So you want the highest amount of impact for your efforts. Now let me also say, I'm not going through every drawer or closet in your home to tell you exactly what to do. For some of us, that would take years. But I am going to make videos about the hotspots that affect you the most up here. That's right, in your thoughts, subconsciously even. And there are usually 3 areas in each room that will cause most of the trouble. So I'm going to stick to those. Let's get started. We are going to do one task today. That's it. I promise you, this is going to be so stupidly easy, but it's going to make a huge impact on how you view cleaning psychologically. And guess what? I'm going to do it with you because I'm on this journey too. If you are interested in taking this journey with me because other cleaning plans haven't worked for you, you've been overwhelmed, and because you don't have the energy to zone clean for a solid hour every single day, be sure to subscribe and hit that notification bell. So let me ask you this. How would you feel if the first and last message, say text message, you received every single day was one that reminded you how messy and how irresponsible you were? Well, think about it. Our bedside table is the first thing we see in the morning and the last thing we see before we turn out our lights at night. If it's dusty and products are falling off of it because we've got too much piled up there, we are actually giving ourselves a few negative messages like we're not responsible, or we don't have enough room for the belongings that we have. Or it can be like what I do. I place my Bible, a magazine, a notepad, pens on top of the table, and I will say to myself with the best of intentions that I plan to go to bed early and read or journal. But what really ends up happening is I stay up late binge watching old black and whites. Yes, I am an old soul. And I never get to those things that I put on my nightstand. So my nightstand ends up looking like a guilty reminder of personal failure. That really might not seem like a big deal, but day after day, pile after pile in various locations around the house, those little messes start to become normal for us. And then we become blind to them. Subconsciously, we're lowering our standards of living until we have company. This is why the 30-minute rule works. Most of us do actually want company in a social life. Somehow, when we know company is coming, we get superhuman vision, and we can see the cobwebs and dust that used to be strangely invisible to us. Also, that fatigue that stopped us from cleaning the toilet for a solid month miraculously disappears, and we now have the energy to blast through the entire house cleaning everything so we don't look like a slob. Are we healed? Don't kid yourself. No. That's just adrenaline and cortisol working. You're gonna crash from it. That's why on this channel, we're gonna move at a slower pace. We're gonna heal our bad habits that lead to the mess and get our homes to the place where we feel that we can have company over in 30 minutes or less. So this week, after we make our beds, because that should be a normal habit for you by now, but if it's not, do that first. We are going to straighten and keep our bedside table neat and orderly every day for 7 days straight. We are going to put away our medicines, even if we take it on a regular basis, and we are going to keep it free from dust. Seriously, you don't have to have a cleaner and paper towels next to your bed, and paper towels are not sustainable. How about when you take off your jammies to put on clothes? If you do that, they don't really get that dirty. Just wipe down the surface, throw it in the laundry, you're done. And we're going to limit the amount of objects that we keep on the surface. Really, all you need is a lamp, a place to put your drink, one book, one journal, one pen, or maybe it's a candle or flowers or something decorative, a clock. But let's be realistic, no nightstand needs more than 5 total objects on top of it. It's the place where you go to bed. It's not an office. So those are a few ideas, but I'm not going to tell you exactly how to do it because we all have different styles. You may be a minimalist and want nothing on the surface, or you may feel like you want to wake up to a boutique hotel with fresh flowers and a candle, the electric kind, because you can't burn candles in a hotel. I don't even know if you can have the electric kind. I truly doubt you can. Or maybe you just use your nightstand to store your supplements and your vitamins and your medications like I have to. Or maybe you're in a small apartment or a dorm and you have to use your nightstand for utilitarian purposes. But the design style really doesn't matter. The neatness and the functionality does. If you take on this challenge, take a before and after picture and tag me on Instagram so I can see what you've done. I'd love to see your photos and your progress. Let's crawl together forward through our messes towards wholeness. If you found value in this video, please be sure to like, share, comment, and subscribe to this channel. And don't forget to follow me on Instagram. I'm Heather Harness at Harness Thought. And as always, remember, harness the power of thought, but please don't stop thinking.